Sync, we thrive. Trajectories excite, we're keeping it alive. Let's keep rolling full speed ahead. EMP's the key, we're never misled. Our mission's clear as a northern star. Purchase EMP, that's who we are. And to the fusion fires, we offer it strong. Over and strong, over and over, till we can't go wrong. Roll together, powered by EMP. May crash, but we're sailing free. In sync, we push, in sync, we thrive. Trajectories in sight, we're keeping it alive. Let's keep rowing full speed ahead. EMP's the key, we're never misled. Our mission's clear as a northern star. Purchase EMP, that's who we are. And to the fusion fires, we offer it strong. Over and strong, over and over, till we can't go wrong. Roll together, powered by EMP. The waves may crash, but we're sailing free. In sync, we push, in sync, we thrive. Trajectories in sight, we're keeping it alive. Let's keep rolling full speed ahead. EMP's the key, we're never misled. With EMP, we sharpen our swords. Fusing the energy, claiming rewards. No hesitation, we rise as one. Valhalla awaits when the job is done. Roll together, powered by EMP. The waves may crash, but we're sailing free. In sync, we push, in sync, we thrive. Trajectories in sight, we're keeping it alive. Let's keep rowing full speed ahead. EMP's the key, we're never misled. Onward we go, the EMP way, to the halls of glory where we'll stay. Rowing as one, no turning back. With EMP power, there's nothing we lack.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to EMP.Money. My name is AJ, I am the team lead here, and this is our live AMA. We come to you every Monday and Thursday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern, and as always, we have a lot to cover, so we're going to jump right in, but before we do that, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and please help me welcome my co-host with the most and fellow team member, LA, how are you?
What's up, guys?
Awesome. So yeah, we again we say it every time, but we have a lot to cover, so we're gonna jump in. Lots of fusion updates. A bunch coming up with HVM. Honor Madness. Again, we'll talk about that. And our DexSwap merger as well. And we're gonna kick things off with EMP Fusion. So I saw a lot of chatter in our socials today, which was really cool. It seems like there is a community-led effort on sacrificing at least 2,000 EMP a day for the next week, maybe? I don't know, time frame. But obviously, never invest more than you can afford. I know a lot of you have your bags packed, but I thought that was really cool. I mean, we do what we can as a team, to deliver on the peg battery and many other items that users can utilize to make the ecosystem flourish. But when it actually comes from the community, that is really powerful. And so shout out to all of you that have been spearheading that. I saw it looks like at least 10 or more of you have committed to that initiative, and it's just another cool way to build not only their camaraderie but also getting more EMP inside of Fusion, and that's what really matters. So before we jump into the notes, LA, did you see that as well? Was there anything you want to mention about that?
Yeah, I love it. I absolutely love when the community steps up and decides to initiate things without us even having to mention it. So big props to you guys.
Yeah, 100%. And again, every little bit helps. Even 100 EMP is 100 more EMP that will never be able to be sold on the market. So it really does matter. And, it can be a tad bit disheartening for a lot of us to see that PEG still isn't moving up. We saw PEG go back down a little bit this week, just because people are selling. Again, we've looked into wallets, we've been doing everything we can to kind of do the on-chain analysis, and the nature of crypto is even if people are at a major loss or maybe something comes up in their personal lives, we can't control people selling. And ultimately, the way Fusion is designed is that this is actually more powerful for all of us that are still here, because remember, when the peg goes down, we get a much larger sacrifice bonus as well. So it's a built-in arbitrage, so to speak, where we as a community take advantage of the dumpers, and the goal is that those sellers are never able to buy their tokens back at the same price or a lower price. So and based on the data, all of that is absolutely holding true. It just sucks to see it happen at these levels. But when the paper handlers sell, we actually get excited because, a lot of different reasons. Like I said, number one, they're getting themselves out of the system. So, we become stronger as a whole because we really don't want people to hold EMP, as we get to these higher levels because they can sell for a lot more. And again, if we do have swing traders, it's okay because they can only dump on us once, and that will be mitigated over time. Once the EMP has been sold, it's being purchased by all of us, Treasury included. I mean, we've really, been preparing for the bull run. A lot of our investments are associated with the success of the overall crypto market, and so, every day we continue to buy EMP. Right now, a lot of it's going to the peg battery, so all of you can buy EMP. But ultimately, the Treasury also does as well. And again, every bit of that is then sacrificed into Fusion and will never be available on the open market again. And this is all part of the plan. I mean, we have to get EMP out of the weak hands and into the strong hands, and sacrificing it into Fusion is the ultimate strong hand because after that you can only take profit in your microgrid, which again is completely acceptable. Even to this day, I still get DMs from people that say, "Oh, I'm locked into Fusion." No, you're not. At any time you can buy the split my position battery and sell your microgrid. Now, granted, you may be selling at a discount depending on wanting to move it quickly, or if you unfortunately bought EMP at a higher price or peg rather than what sacrifice is now, then yeah, you may be getting hit a little bit in terms of dollar value, but nobody is locked in EMP ever moving forward, which is also really, really bullish. So, and then last but not least, uh, the more they sell, these people, the more it gives us the opportunity again to build a bigger position. I know that the ultimate goal, again, not financial advice, and never invest more than you can afford, but a lot of you are trying for that glorious 1% ownership of Fusion, and with people selling, especially at these levels, you will not be able to get 1% ownership any more affordable than the prices that we have been seeing. So Again, not financial advice, but it's really, really powerful. And again, the peg bonus will never be this low, moving forward. And so that is, again, a reason to take advantage now. So really, that's a lot of the main topics with, what we're seeing LA. You do such a great job summing it all up. So was there anything you want to add to that or other key points?
I'll just kind of reiterate some of those points. We actually get so excited when we see people who had large holdings but hadn't been sacrificing start to sell off. What we are really happy about is a couple of things. One, um, those people are selling at the bottom, and people who are the opposite of diamond handed should not prosper, because having a long term mindset always pays off. And I don't want to see those people sell right as we're at 0.9999, about to get back to pay. I want them to sell now because I know that they're not winning, and I'm a little bit sassy like that. But that being said, it doesn't seem like those people are selling all in one big chunk. It seems like they're following along with what's going on and selling chunk by chunk small. So that's a great thing, because we were tracking wallets with up to 1 million EMP in them that we figured they were going to dump at some point because it had been months and they hadn't sacrificed any of it. And some of those wallets now have less than 50,000 EMP in them, and they've slowly over time sold it, which is quite good for us because it keeps the peg bonus at an all-time high, so that the people with diamond hands with long-term mindsets are scooping that up over time and building larger and larger and larger positions. And I know that it sucks to wait for this tipping point, but when we do hit this tipping point and we do hit supply shock, things have the potential to move extremely quickly. And if those people still had millions of EMP in their wallets, what they would do when they saw things moving really quickly is they would totally destroy our momentum, because they'd be selling like crazy. But what's happening is they've been selling all along, chunk by chunk, and they don't have large amounts to sell off when the momentum hits. And so we're actually in this incredible position, and it's all about how you look at it. And if you take this time, and I know we've said this before, but let me remind you, if you take this time to look at things in a slightly different way than the majority of people are, then you have the opportunity to win and get ahead more quickly than anyone else. And then when we do get back to peg and we are exactly where we want to be, you're not scrambling to try and get to where you want to be, because you've been slowly doing it this entire time. And that's very powerful. We get ahead the quickest and the farthest in life when we take small actions over and over and over again. So the people that are DCAing in or taking advantage of the continuous gain strategy day by day are truly going to be the ones that win. If anytime you have dry powder, you have the ability to sacrifice 100, 1,000, 2,000, 10,000 EMP and chip away at building up a larger and larger ownership position, that is the recipe for a delicious victory.
I love it. Let's go. Again, LA with the famous analogies, usually centered around food, oddly enough.
I switched
Yeah.
it at the last minute. I was like, they don't need another pie or pizza.
Yeah, totally. I love it. So yeah, and again, I echo all the same sentiment that LA said, everything, all the highlights, and ultimately, over the last 48 hours, we have seen literally tens of thousands of more EMP being sacrificed. And you know, that is what matters. Again, it is a lagging indicator where this isn't something that's going to happen overnight, but the number one metric of success is more and more EMP locked away forever. And again, we'll do the math again. We usually do an update every couple of weeks, but I'll take some time and do the math again. The last, I think it was like something ridiculous, like 83% of the entire circulating supply was either accounted for in the top wallets, most of which we own or at least know they're smart contracts that aren't gonna liquidate. But even that, I mean, the distribution falls off dramatically after the first 20 holders. So the point to that is that it is happening. I mean, again, you can look on chain at the real data. It's not just LA and I coming on the AMA and saying, "Oh yeah, it's working. You know, everything is looking good." This is real data and real math that is behind it. So that is super bullish because again, it's only a matter of time, and you know, over the next few months with the bull run and more people looking to get into crypto in general, as well as you know our little bubble of DeFi, we're going to be poised to capture all those new users. And once we have the buying pressure from new users, that's when EMP and eShare will skyrocket. So, and eShare as well. I know we're seeing local lows again on eShare. The short answer is again, people just are not seeing the full potential and selling. So this would be again not financial advice, but another amazing opportunity to load up on eShare and use that to fund your M energy or any of the batteries that require eShare to work. So through M energy. So again, and even just picking up you know some eShare to hold until we recover. Again, swing trading on eShare that is very volatile, and again, it is part of the one of many ways to earn in the ecosystem. So, you know, we may go down from here further on eShare. Be prepared for that. But in my mind, we can't get much lower. And the fact that on eShare as well, the supply is so low. I mean, you know, I'll do the math on that again as well. We only have about 60 thousand total eShare, but we've burned a ton. I mean, we were burning 1,000 eShare a week for the first few weeks, and we have another burn coming up as well. So eShare is getting destroyed in terms of supply, which again, over time, will help with the price in the long term. So everything,
Yes.
even when you look at it under a microscope, LA, I know it can be, like you said, a bit frustrating or disheartening. But if you zoom out and really take into account all the bullish, you know, economics that we're putting in place, it really doesn't get any better. And you know, shout out to Grover as well. You know,
Yes.
all of our he did a great write up, and he's writing in the comments too about this being real yield and real revenue share. So again, as we grow all of our other platforms, whether it's HVM or DexSwap or even projects that we haven't even announced yet that we build, all of those things will only contribute to more and more buying pressure and more yield through Fusion. So it really is a machine or an engine that we have built, and now it's up to all of us to feed that engine and get as much out of it as we can over the long run. And we're set up for all that for sure. Go ahead, Elliot. Did you
Yeah.
want to add? Sorry, I cut you off earlier. Yep.
Yeah, that's okay. I just keep asking myself every time I DCA in, man, I can purchase 10 eShare right now for $80 and then down the line in not that long of a time potentially sell it for 800 or 1600. Who knows? I'm not obviously giving any indication of a for sure future, but that's what I'm saying to myself in my mind. I can scoop this up for this right now. eShare is one thing I've always believed in. Do I believe it's going to get back to like $4,000? I don't know about that, but do I believe it could 10 or 20x from here? Abso-fucking-lutely.
Amen. Let's go. I love it. And yeah, 100%. I mean, again, we're not here to give price predictions, and we would not do that from a morality standpoint, but we can illustrate, you know, the potential. And again, this is not a meme token. It has real utility behind it. Very engaged community. Low supply. Literally everything. Decent liquidity. Literally everything you would want to see in a token we have here. It's just a matter of, again, making that flywheel spin up faster and faster. Um, and everything else falls into place. So, all right, awesome. I think that covers the majority of stuff for Fusion. Again, if you have a question, please feel free to post in the live chat, and we'll go over questions on our Discord at the end. But anything else about Fusion?
Nope.
All right, awesome. So moving into the Yield Consortium. So this is a private deal. Again, only those of you in the VIP group or those of you that actually listen to the AMAs are even gonna know about this. But it is the final call to get involved. We talked a little bit about it on the last AMA, but this is a private investment opportunity that we, have decided to roll out utilizing the real yield from the Dex Finance vaults and our expertise, as well as drinking our own Kool-Aid, as this is how the Treasury has been yielding as well. And with the market picking up, we just wanted to offer this as an easy button for those that may be intimidated by the vaults. And honestly, this may become its own protocol down the road that will also support EMP Fusion and GDEX, which is the native token for Dex Finance. So, we started with a bang. We got almost 100K worth of involvement. And again, a lot of those people are OGs that will be utilizing the yield to then support EMP and buy more EMP and more eShare, although they're not required to. That is super bullish as we continue to go. We are projecting a 10% monthly yield. Some months it will be less, some months it may even be more. So again, it is a variable return. Um, and your capital is not guaranteed with the volatility of the markets, but in terms of risk, this is fairly low risk. I mean, all the vaults that we're in of multiple millions of TVL that are in my eyes pseudo blue chip assets that can still earn amazingly well. And again, we're generating this yield through fees by providing liquidity on V3 pairs. So it is 1,000 minimum to start, no maximum uh, right now. And if you do want to get involved, send me a DM on Telegram. It is getting a little bit later into the month, so we may have to prorate your monthly return, but at least you're set up for the following months. And this could end at any time, or you can, withdraw or compound rewards at the end of every month. So again, it's super flexible and just something we're offering privately as of right now as a private investment group. So all right. And then yeah, the one last thing too. I had one or two more people take me up on this. So we are offering a final OTC on EMP and eShare. OTC essentially means over the counter, where you're able to buy a larger amount of tokens without getting hit with price impact. So if you're looking to just buy EMP, you're probably better off or just as good to buy on the market because we have such deep liquidity and we're not giving a discount on the OTC. It's just an easier way to buy a bunch at once and not get front run or hit with any slippage. But eShare with the liquidity being low, if you do want to load up on a lot more eShare, but don't want to buy, 10 at a time, definitely take advantage of the OTC. We're only doing a $10,000 maximum, so you can't buy, all the supply, but we will facilitate that. So if you have interest, send me a DM as well. This will be the final call for OTC, and the other opportunity, the Yield Consortium, will be ongoing. We just may have to prorate your returns if you get in at the middle of the month, it will only be 5% target instead of 10. But then the next month again, we'll target a full 10%. So, all right, I think that covers this part. Was there anything you want me to clarify, LA?
Yeah, I just want to say I did post AJ's Telegram username in the chat, but an easy way to find the real AJ is to simply go into our group, click on one of his pinned messages. So you may need to click through one or two or three pinned messages, find one that's he's posted, click on his name, and message him directly like that. He does also have all of his chat bubbles tagged in the top right corner in gray with team member. And so that is how you know that it is the real AJ that you're contacting. I've also directly put his username in the chat right now, but we all know that scammers do funny things and create other profiles with the username in the bio and all kinds of things. So that is the easiest way to find him. Click through the pinned messages, find one that he's posted, click on his name, and message him.
Perfect. Yeah, 100%. Again, never, ever, ever respond to a DM if it's me or somebody pretending to be me. We will extremely rarely DM you, and that's only around like major events. So, do not fall for that. And when you're in doubt, like if you get a random DM or you think it's me but you're not sure, just number one, wait until we can confirm either way. Don't make fast and rash decisions. And number two, a really great way, which I've been super impressed from a lot of people that I've been dealing with around this opportunity, particularly, ask that I call you on Telegram. I'm happy to verify my voice and do it that way as well. So if it's a scammer, they're not going to be able to call you or talk to you. And I have a pretty distinct voice that even if it's AI or something crazy, it should be able to be figured out in real time. So that was another really good
But
thing. Yeah,
But if you get a phone call from a random person, and even if it sounds like AJ, it's not him. You
totally,
would have to call him. He's not ever going to randomly call you.
100%. Yep. And again, it seems like it goes in waves. We have had a lot of trouble in the past, but knock on wood, a lot of you've really smartened up, for lack of a better word, and have really realized that how to protect yourself. So that's a great thing. And as a community, we can continue to help each other, not get scammed. So, shout out to all of you that do help in the chats for sure. So, um, all right, LA, I'm gonna let you cover this next part. Number one, I think I've been talking a lot, but you have been really putting in a ton of work on this. So, introducing DexSwap, right? Go ahead. Yeah,
Yes. So on our last couple AMAs, we've told you about DexSwap being the name of the new Dex, the MegaDex that we've been building. And before we went ahead and did any of this, I wanted to mention it on our AMA first. So as we begin to really ramp up for this big merger of all of our DEXs, we're about to take the first steps in consolidating all of our socials to really allow for better communication, more streamlined marketing, all of our time and efforts in one place as opposed to split up amongst multiple groups and accounts. And so, under the new United brand, DexSwap, we'll be offering a better user experience with all new features in our one of a kind V3, V4 exchange. And so, that being said, within the next 24 to 48 hours, you will notice that a couple of our existing accounts will now transition into the DexSwap name and branding as we prepare for launch. So I am going to go ahead and within the next 24 to 48 hours, post a notice in all of our groups and on all of our socials. And then we're going to begin the transition process of changing our largest groups and social accounts into the new DEX accounts. And then we'll be kind of just consolidating everything into the accounts with just that one name. And so we really want to thank everyone for their patience as we really transition into this new phase. And any and all of your questions will totally be answered. And just as a reminder, obviously, all of your positions in SparkSwap and CetoSwap will be very carefully migrated when the time comes.
Yeah, 100%. I know we have some questions about that, which we'll get to at the end. But yes, nobody will be left behind. As I've said on some other AMAs, the way the Cedo 4.4s work and the way Sparkler works may be changing a little bit. Again, we're going to have to merge all the, reward tokens as well as, giving you credit in terms of our DEX token for those reward tokens. But ultimately it's really bullish because this is what we've been saying all along, where we transition into a non-inflationary economy. And, regardless of whether you've been accumulating, tokens, native tokens outright, or you've been utilizing Sparkler and Cedo 4.4, those are the ways that you get the most of the new token, which again in theory, will be the same, if not even more, of a value transfer of what you've been doing over the last year and a half, year and a half, depending on what protocol. So we'll have all this info out. Again, we're trying to streamline the BSC launch, and honestly, we're trying to get that done before we announce the token allocation and merger, just because we need to have our own liquidity to get rid of the front running bots and really get away from PancakeSwap and the predatory bots. So we will be merging the EMP liquidity to the new DEX, which again, we'll have a full update on that as well. I'm just giving you all the info at once, but don't get overwhelmed. It will be super simple. We've done this many times before already. And again, the takeaway, like LA said, is nobody will be left behind or, shorted on what they feel they deserve for, again, participating in the individual protocols, for sure. Cool. Okay.
Awesome.
Yep. All right. Anything else on that? Yeah, go ahead.
One question from Mail about how the DexSwap merger will affect the Sparkler. We might as well answer that now.
Yeah, so we will be doing a full announcement on this, but the long story short is, depending on what you've locked up and for how long, um, obviously those that have staked for longer, as we've always said, is the best play. They would get maybe a bonus on what they're entitled to, and we'll have a full formula that we release. But there will be a lot of things that play into it. So the long story short is Sparkler eventually goes away, but you get the equivalent, if not even more, value in the DexSwap token. And again, the DexSwap token will be cap supply, non-inflationary, super sustainable and bullish for the long term for sure.
Amazing.
Killer.
All right, you ready to talk about Omniverse's madness?
Yeah, no doubt. As if it couldn't get any more bullish, a half an hour in, and we just are getting to HVM making incredible headway. Mondays are our marketing meeting day. It went really well today. We have so much stuff going. So again, I'm gonna defer to LA because she is a rock star when it comes to managing all that we have going on. But the short of the long is we're crushing it on the marketing side for HVM.
Hashtag
Yeah,
crushing it.
yeah, totally. And we still have about a month, a little less now, but again through TGE and yeah, we said it before too that even though we're announcing TGE at the end of the month and really rolling everything out, remember that it isn't just a 1 day event. Like we will have much more momentum and coverage going through November into December, and honestly for the next 7 or 8 months while the game is under development. So don't think that you again are that we're running out of time, so to speak. So go ahead, LA.
Yeah, so The amount we have accomplished in the last week is just insane. The amount that was accomplished today is insane.
For sure.
But let me start from the beginning. Super exciting news. This Thursday, we'll be beginning our dedicated Honor versus Madness AMAs. That will not take away at all from our EMP AMAs that will still be taking place at our usual time on Mondays and Thursdays. But from now on Thursdays for the foreseeable future, we will also be hosting a dedicated Honor versus Madness AMA. It'll be happening once a week on Thursdays. We haven't locked down an exact time yet, but we will in the next day or so, and we'll be making an announcement in the group. We'll be covering a lot of exciting and important topics leading into TGE and beyond. Some weeks will be just AJ and I, or just our full team. And other weeks, we'll be bringing in some other really exciting speakers to add to the conversation. As usual, there will be opportunity to ask questions, get your thoughts and questions out. And you will need to be a member of the Honor versus Madness Telegram group to attend. So I'm going to go ahead and post the link in our chats right now and make sure you've joined the group. Other than that, we've made incredible progress in the last week. Our Twitter has nearly doubled in size. Our ads are working extremely effectively with tens of thousands of views and impressions growing by the day. And so we had an amazing marketing meeting today where we hashed out the next couple of weeks of posts that are going out, strategy for advertising, for KOLs, for a lot of things. And then on the sidelines, I have also been working on 4 different Medium articles, video clips, and even a short podcast season to roll out to promote the game and TGE. We do have our influencer content rolling out shortly. We do have a bunch of PR rolling out shortly that I've been organizing. And you'll see the first new article on our Medium uploaded in the next 24 hours. So please make sure that you're following our Medium account so that you can be the first to get all the exciting information updates that we share there. There's going to be a lot of really important information that is just easier to get out in a long form written version than on these AMAs. So it is going to be slightly different than what you hear us talk about on the AMAs. As for the rest of the updates, I do want to save some stuff that's unique to speak about on the dedicated Honor versus Madness AMA on Thursday. So I just wanted to kind of give you a general overview of the progress that we've been making on tonight's AMA.
I love it, LA. Yeah, and I'll drop a little bit of alpha. I won't steal your thunder, LA, but I mentioned it on the last AMA, and on Thursday we'll actually go over this together. Um, but we built out a really, really awesome and unique landing page. I'm not going to tell you what it is. Again, I won't completely ruin it for you, LA, but we have this really, really cool new addition that we were not only driving new ads and engagement to, but it's just going to be an amazing tool in terms of community building for Universe Madness as well. So it's something I've never seen done before, especially in Web3. So keep an eye out for that. We'll announce it and go through it all on Thursday for sure. But yeah, again, I couldn't agree more. LA's been crushing it. The new marketing team is phenomenal, and we've said this as well. But the goal is that we will hopefully be able to scale the involvement of the marketing team with our other protocols. And so again, this is really bullish because we're already seeing this work. The major issue with advertising usually is justifying the cost in having real results. Well, we were seeing that in HVM. Sorry, my daughter, Birdie. Birdie's excited, LA. Oh man, she's loving it. So,
I've been
uh,
She's been
yeah,
excited all day. I love it.
yeah, she has been for sure. So, yeah, that being said, again, we're able to utilize these relationships into Fusion and the vaults and everything that we build moving forward, uh, to help us scale into the bull run. So yeah, all right. Sorry, LA. I know I almost gave it away, but hopefully you're not too mad at me. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. We actually had that link posted, so you guys can go ahead and take the quiz now. I posted the URL right in our group. So if you haven't taken it yet, make sure you do so we can find out what faction you belong to. And when you get your answer, there's a button at the end of the quiz that you can press to actually post about it. So it's really cool. We would love to hear from you as to what the results of the quiz are. Funny thing happened to me when I originally took it when we were in testing. I showed that I was a shadow realm, but then when the quiz went live, it appears I am a wizard. So watch out for all the magic that I'll be bringing your way.
I love it. Let's go. Yeah, no doubt. I know those of you that have been paying attention have seen that link, and again, but we'll actually go over it live on stream and show the different options again. And yeah, once you know what you are, we even had a poll in on our Twitter to see, you know, who wants to be part of Shadow Realm and who wants to be part of Wizarding Society. So that friendly rivalry will really play into the game and the lore and community building as we continue. So awesome. All right, cool. All right, that really is the bulk of what we wanted to discuss today. Obviously, we'll get into questions here in a minute as well. But was there anything else that you wanted to go over, LA, or anything we need to dive a little deeper on?
The only other thing I wanted to say is I know that I've gotten a few DMs about, is TGE still on track? Is it being put out this month? And are you guys going to announce a date soon? We do have an internal date. We are still very much on track. We haven't publicly announced it yet, but it will be coming in a public announcement very soon. So watch out for that. But just in a nutshell, we are very much still on track. And so there's no worries there.
Yeah, 100%. I know a lot of you, especially in the EMP community, were part of the pre-sale, the private whitelisted sale. We'll have some really killer updates in the next few days, and maybe another week or two as we finalize. But before TGE, we will have some incredible updates in terms of staking opportunities. And it's really important that all of you stake at least in the beginning, to help us have the most successful TGE possible. So I'm just putting it out there to kind of put something in the back of your head to make sure that you're prepared for that. But we will announce a full breakdown on our staking options and being able to possibly even earn, well, definitely being able to earn more than just selling the token outright, especially over the first few months. So again, get excited about that. We're doing everything we can to give incredible opportunities to all of you and really set ourselves up for an amazing game and long-term success with HVM. And all of you here should care because, again, 10% of the revenue once the game is really underway and we start having pack sales and really generating revenue, 10% of all of that will be going to feed Fusion. So it really is important that we all get behind the game, even if you don't play it or are not interested. It's about helping your own bags at EMP. So, all right. Again, LA, anything to add to that?
No, sir.
All right, awesome. All right, I guess we can jump into questions. I know again, or if we didn't cover it or you have a question, it is best to put it in the YouTube chat so to make sure that we see it. Or we have a dedicated channel on our Discord that you can ask questions throughout the week. If maybe you're in the shower and you have one of those shower thoughts, those are the best. Feel free to type that on Discord, for sure. But LA, any questions today? I know we're a little
Yeah.
light on the live chat, but yeah, go ahead.
We have a couple. Have you thought about building a version of Fusion on other chains, like one tied to AVAX, SUI, or something on Base? Ton has been growing like crazy and has easier on ramps with the stars. Would it be something that you might do in the future? I am thinking about this because what do we do if ETH doesn't keep growing over the long term?
Yeah, I think that's a really good question. Um, unfortunately, I think the answer to that would be no, and it's simply for one major reason, and that is that EMP Fusion is only successful and it is completely 100% unique because of our revenue streams. So we had another question a few weeks ago of whether we would license the idea or the infrastructure like software as a service like we did for DOS for Fusion, and I had a similar answer, and that is that number one, it doesn't function nearly at all in terms of sustainability without the real yield, and we are one of the only teams, if not the only team that I know in all of crypto that actually shares part of the revenue through Fusion with everything that we build. And so again, it would take another team that has existing products that are generating major yield, both whether it's through treasury or actual bridges or dexes or whatever, everything that we have that nobody else has, perps, um, to make those successful. So to do that on another chain, that means that we would have to then dilute the emissions or the rewards to that fusion clone as well, because the money has to come from somewhere. And if we do it through our own real yield, then we only have a certain amount every day that we're making. And if we have to reward two protocols, that means you're getting half the reward. So that's why I would say that the short answer is no. However, I mean, again, we are looking at building other protocols on other chains. Sui again would be a great example of an up and coming chain that doesn't really have a lot of infrastructure yet in terms of DeFi that we could absolutely fill in, a bridge, a DEX. Sui is going to be a little more difficult because it's not EVM. Anything that's EVM is a lot easier for us to implement, but that is definitely something that we would look into. Not only giving an earning opportunity on those individual chains through a trusted protocol that we build, but then also funneling those rewards back to Fusion and GDEX, or eventually the DexSwap token. So, yeah, does that answer LA? I don't know if there was anything
Hmm.
you wanted to add to that.
Nope. I think that was a good one.
Okay.
The only other question I feel like we thoroughly answered at the beginning of the chat, and this way of thinking is exactly the opposite of what I was saying. It's all about looking at it from a different perspective. But the question is, um, why isn't Peg climbing over the last couple of weeks? And is the cash out battery not working?
Yeah, so I think, like you said, we covered it. The answer is, people are going to sell, and PEG is solely determined based on buying and selling pressure. So if there's more buyers than sellers, PEG goes up. If there's more sellers than buyers, PEG goes down, and no amount of, you know, utility can combat that. But that being said, the peg profit battery is still working flawlessly, and those that are taking advantage of it are winning every day. In terms of building their position and helping the protocol lock away more and more EMP. So, and again, I don't want to spoil too much, but we're working with a really amazing community member that happens to be a developer himself, creating some UI utilities. Again, I know everybody's been asking when is there going to be a leaderboard, and where can I see peg and the ratio all in one spot without having to go back and forth to different websites. Well, we are working with this community member. Shout out to him. Again, I don't want to dox him without his permission, but some really amazing stuff that our beta testers are going through right now. That will be a third-party website that will give you a lot of UI and analytics around Fusion, similar to like a Dune. Those that may be familiar with Dune and their metrics, this is along those lines, just built by a community member instead of paying Dune, tens of thousands of dollars to do it themselves. So, and again, once it's live, we'll have a donation link as well for this developer that's going above and beyond to make this happen. So, yeah, just again, some more alpha for everybody. LA, I know we've been so busy. Have you had a chance to look at that yet? I know I posted it.
I did.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
badass.
isn't it? I
It's,
know. That's what I'm
yep.
saying. Yeah. So,
Yeah, very badass.
yeah, totally.
And I
Cool.
love that we have our beta testers to go through things and give feedback prior to us ever putting everything out into the community. So amazing. Shout out to our incredible community members and beta testers. It really makes a world of difference.
Yeah, I was super, super impressed. And again, this is just purely analytics. You don't have to connect your wallet, no security risks. Just really an amazing tool for those that are excited for Fusion. So, all right, awesome. Yeah, sorry, I went off on a tangent there. But did that answer the question? Do you want to add to,
Yeah.
if things are working? So, yeah.
It all comes back to what we said at the very beginning. If you look at this as an opportunity to build your position exponentially at quite possibly the largest peg bonus you'll receive, then this is an incredible opportunity and time to get ahead while all of the paper hands release their EMP into our diamond hands.
Yeah, I love it. 100%. So,
All right. Well, sir, that is it.
all right. Well, that was really good. I think we covered a lot. Again, we've been trying to keep things at about an hour, so that fits right in. And again, we will be doing the Universe Madness AMAs, dedicated AMAs, on Thursdays. So, the goal is either before or after the pre-existing AMAs, which is even more of a reason that we need to stick to a bit of a schedule. But obviously, if we have some big announcements or extended questions, we're always happy to go over it all. But yeah, I don't really have any other things to add other than, everything is moving forward. We're making major headway behind the scenes as always. The dev team has just been absolutely nonstop with everything that we have coming up between TGE for HVM, staking of HVM, the DexSwap, the Dex Vaults update, and UI. I mean, we have literally probably 6 or 7 rollouts in the month of October, so keep an eye out for all that. And obviously, we're continuing to brainstorm other ideas to make the ecosystem even stronger. And, we have mentioned this a few times as well in terms of the legacy contracts. Eventually retiring or figure out what to do that is fair and equitable for everybody. And that will be the next big rollout after TGE. So keep an eye out for November timeframe to really get in front of, or rather get behind, all the things that maybe have the FUD or drama around them. And then we can really focus fully on the new ecosystem. EMP Fusion is the future. Everybody will be taken care of to the best of our ability, and then we can move forward full steam ahead without having to rely on, all the other FUD. And we'll have a very, specific way that we roll that out. But my point to bring that up is, even next month, early next year, we have an internal roadmap of a bunch of different things that will be coming out. So just stay informed. Make sure you join these AMAs to stay up to date. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Again, another plug to do that. And yeah, LA, any final words or any other uh, comments you want to make before we wrap it up?
You guys absolutely rock. We appreciate all of your support, all of your positivity, and your long term mindsets, and for being along this journey with us. It's getting more and more exciting as time goes on, and we wouldn't have anyone else in the world by our sides except you guys. You are amazing, and we love you.
I love it. Amen. Yes, much love to all of you, and I couldn't agree more with LA. Those of you that have been here literally from day one, going on 3 years, it's just incredible to see. And yeah, I mean, we're just getting started in terms of crypto. We are the OGs of DeFi at this point, and we're only going to continue to grow and continue to scale. I've said it many times. We may not get it right 100% of the time, but we're not going anywhere and we're never giving up. And that is exactly what you want to find in good developers, good teams, good communities, and ultimately good projects. So, all right. Uh, Good night, good day. We will see you on Thursday. Remember, we come to you every Monday and Thursday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern. Much love, everybody. Good night.